What's up? Howdy and welcome back. Fresh back from Japan, and sorry I didn't get more footage from Japan, but I do have a few things that I want to make a little bit of projects out of, film-wise, and I'll be trying to shoot that out to you at some point. But welcome back, fellas. It's time for 4 more drawers for all my whores, all my tool whores. Anyway, let's get started. See what we got here. Alright, so toolbox tour video. I think we left off last time you guys saw into my horrible hand tool drawer number 1. Let's do hand tool drawer number 2. And so here, quick overview. I have punches, chisels, screwdrivers, flathead and otherwise, an electric screwdriver, little bits and stuff, bearing seal drivers and clutch alignment tools, it looks like, in this drawer. Alright, so let's take a closer look. We have punches, and here are my big boy punches for when I really want to move stuff. Chisels, I got another long distance chisel for when I really want to do some damage. What else do we got here? Look at this one. I cut this one. You know why? Because sometimes when you're trying to spread something apart, this will bottom out before you can get it wide enough. I think that's what I did here so that I could push it in further and extract whatever I was trying to do. I think that was like a ball joint or something recently. But I've just got a lot of different chisels and from who knows where. I mean, this one's a round, flat one, so you know it can come in handy. Who else? Who else is interesting? Here is a punch, I suppose. Here's some smaller cylinder ones, and I think I have a specific one just for Subaru axles. It's longer and it's a very specific thickness. Yeah, let's just get all these out so we can compare and contrast. I mean, I have a snap-on set, and I would normally keep them in here organized, but it's really not my ski-low. Here's a quarter. But these are warranted. But as you can see, if I break one, I've got plenty of other ones. What else is interesting about this? Okay, recently I picked up a pry bar / punch set. I'm sure they have a specific name. Are those the only sizes that I have? I probably got these at Harbor Freight, but they are super handy for straightening holes, like suspension wise. Like I can stick these into a something and then adjust it with leverage. And also having this kind of a hook bend for prying is actually super handy. So I highly recommend these because I probably paid $10 on them, and I probably refused to buy them on the Snap-on truck for years because they were hundreds of dollars, and they probably make much bigger ones than these, but I approve of those ones. Anyway, these actually used to scrape gaskets off, and this one, I don't know how or why, is just the cat's pajamas. Yeah, every time I'm scraping gasket off of like a cylinder head or something. I also have these razor blade holding tools, and they just don't do the trick for me. I've found that spackling okay, now these are actually like wood chisels, I believe, and these actually have much more of a chance of damaging your surface if you're trying to clean it, whereas this one, you know, it's got a nice soft flex to it, and then it you can sharpen it. This thing has been a miracle. Let's see. And again, to make my point, it is really nice to have the general cheap stuff so that you can modify it if you need to. If you need a shorter one, you know, when you pay $200 for a Snap-on set, you generally don't want to cut them in half and otherwise modify them. So I just thought I'd make that point clear. So now we've got my screwdriver set, and I got a set of like these handled ones. Because I don't know, I lose them. Let's see, I've got an orange handled one. I have a 20 or 100th anniversary, 80th anniversary. I don't know. We'll take a closer look at that. I have a couple of those still. And this is my standard size. I use this one all the time. This one's my buddy for prying out seals and stuff like that. But you know, these have much bigger, thicker handles, so you can get more torque. I also like how you can use a wrench on here to get more turning torque. Oh, and look at this. This is a pick. I also have a lot of picks in this drawer. This one I use for rubber hoses, you know, to loosen them up. I stick this in the rubber hose like a heater hose, radiator hose. Okay, now this guy, this is my electric one, and it's a Black & Decker power drive Dector. It's reversible, it has adjustable torque, and it's been with me for over 5 years. I used to have a Snap-on, one of these that I spent, you know, gobs and gobs of money on, and it lasted me probably 5 years or so, and then it broke, and then I just couldn't, I kept fixing it, and I couldn't throw it away because it was so damn expensive. Whereas this one, it won't break. I've had it forever. It also, you know, has the flexible handle, you know, but I never need that really. Let's see if I can, oh, boom, there it is. So I could buy like 3 or 5 or, I don't know, a whole bunch of those. And then I have a multi-head with an extension on it. And actually this one I made as a Schrader valve, it looks like. But since then I have collected Schrader valves. Anyway, wow, this one is actually pretty interesting. I got it in high school. In my high school class. I stole it on accident. I didn't do that on purpose. But let's see what it says on it actually. It's got a part number on it. Yeah, I think this is probably legitimately my first Snap-on tool because for some reason it went home with me. I should go return it. I should go find that teacher whose name I don't know. This is an interesting pick tool because I like Hondas, as some of you might know, and they get stolen. And when I got my car back, this tool came with my car. I don't know if I should be talking about that or bragging about it, but that's the case, and actually has come in handy for a few of my jobs. What else can I say here? I don't know why this is in here, but again, yeah, I have lots of picks. So let's get out some of these picks, these more important picks, and kind of talk about them for a minute. So like I said earlier, I use this guy for hoses, rubber hoses, hose clamps, and this is probably my most used one. You can see the size difference there. It really gets in there, and sometimes I need it longer. And oh, speaking of longer, I've got some of these longer ones. So I've got a, I don't know, 30 degree, and then I've got the fishing one, or the hook style. This one's a little bent. This one's just straight. This is another long right angle one. But see how short this is? I need a longer one. So I actually made one. I had some rod, or found some rod, or a good buddy of mine gave me some rod, and I sharpened it and bent it, and then I reinforced welded it on the back to create a super long, high torque pick tool. And then I drilled a hole in this and melted it, shoved this hot rod in there, and then I epoxied it. So now I have this tool, and it's super handy. Made that kind of the day of, and that was fun. Anyway, I've got a really long, broken Craftsman screwdriver. Anyway, enough about that. I wrote on this box bearing seal drivers, engine mounts. Let's see what's in here. Yeah, for driving seals, this one's probably my favorite one. You've probably seen it in my Subaru timing belt video. But I can use this side to start the bearings, or start the seal, and this side to finish installing engine oil seals. So that's what all this other stuff is too. This one you use a bolt. It's probably for Hondas. And then these other ones are just various sizes. Well, I've got this one that helps slip in some seals so that you don't damage the lip on the seal. And then here's just more adapters for other such things. And these are like wheel bearing races mostly. And I've been using this one since I found it. It's most cam seals and some other ones. And then I've got clutch alignment tools everywhere. And so this gives you an idea of how many clutches I've done over the years. I've thrown away a lot of these, and then I'll write on them, you know, what they're for. Some of them they say, like this one's for Toyota. What is this? What is this? So this is an old school ratcheting. Look at this ancient thing. Lefty loosey. Oh, so you can switch out the bits. I don't know, yard sale? Look at the action on this thing. That's pretty dope school right there. Wood, baby. How many of your tools are made out of wood? That's pretty gangster. Alright, so that's enough of this drawer. Moving on. We have a drawer that I am ashamed to open, so I can only imagine how you guys feel when you see this. But here it is. I've just got a tow rope. I've got another tow rope over there, but I don't know why this one is just chilling in here. So what's in here? Adjusters for spring perches, because I do a lot of suspension kits lowering vehicles, sports cars. And then this is the box for my torque wrench right here. And somebody used to borrow my tool quite a bit, so I made sure that I had my name on it and to let them know that it was mine, biatch, because they actually took advantage of that for several years. I got a timing light. I have, okay, here's a good tool. Here's a good tool. Here's a useful tool. Do you guys know those compression C-clamps that you'll find on radiator hoses and stuff like that? This tool makes that a snap. So you get it on your clamp, you tighten it, and then it locks into place. Then you can manipulate it off of there, leave it off there until you have to get back in it. And it's a nice long cable, so you can snake it down into your engine bay and then get access to otherwise hose clamps that, you know, would be hard to get to unless you had like some super long ones like this. But this is the even more hardcore hose clamp solution. And then I have my compression tester. I have a tire gauge, an accurate tire gauge pressure. I have chunks of rubber and belt to use with my big time tool here. I have thread files, okay. And a fuel gauge. This is really, I need to make better use of this, but yeah, my compression tester is actually made by Mac, and it's lasted me quite a bit. It's missing its lens right now because I think it cracked, but it has a valve to relieve the pressure. I have a Long Acres tire pressure gauge for that super accurate going to the track measurement, I suppose. All right, now moving on we have the bottom drawer of my red box is full of plastic containers. So what should we look at first? Here's a Blue Point tool set. It's my universal brake caliper toolkit. I use this to compress pistons when I do brakes, especially on ones that need to turn while they need to rotate while you compress. So that's how this will work here. You attach one of these guys and bam, rotation and compression. Look, you put a socket on there and it does the trick. So this is kind of a must-have tool. You can get away with it for a lot of cars just by using giant pliers to compress pistons, but like I said, some of them have to rotate. So you will need this tool. You can't avoid it forever. You'll be borrowing your other coworkers' tools. Let's pull out another box out of here. And here I am at Harbor Freight. And obviously you can tell what's in here, right? And since this box is such shit, I do not organize it. I should actually do some of that. But these things are fucking super expensive if you go anywhere else. But for me, this was worth the having a shit box. Yeah, maybe they're not such high grade metal, but I have a full set of these made in China. I don't know what you want to call these. They're wrenches. They're short, stubby. I mean, there's my hand on the reach, but you can use pipes to get some more torque. What else? They're super flat, right? So these are great for tie rod, inner tie rods. I use these for some fan clutches, things like that. They really come in handy, and that's what it's supposed to look like in there. But these things fall out, and I just ain't nobody got time for that. Okay. What else? All right, let's see what else we got. I have a Matco bearing race and seal driver kit. Let's see how complete this is. And it's awfully dirty, but I actually use these. These are for like wheel bearing races and transfer case inputs, outputs, stuff like that. And you basically use it to hammer in seals or race bearings. I use it on my press a lot, which probably some of you are scoffing at right now. But they give you so many sizes. It's really come in handy throughout my career. What else do we got? Another thing that I just had to buy eventually was a pulley kit. So it's kind of a general extractor for alternator pulleys, power steering pulleys, other such goofness like this. And I think I got this at Tooltown, which I kind of want to go to Tooltown and take you guys with me, and we can explore that place together. What else do I got down here? More Harbor Freight. Okay, so these are the bigger tools that are gonna cause you lots of pain if you buy on Snap-on. But this guy is a finger-licking winner when it comes to installing ball joints. It seems to have all the right brackets, and if it doesn't, I make them. So very well spent, well built, and if it breaks, I can damn sure afford to drive 10 minutes down the street and pick up another one. So good to have in the box for that type of stuff. What else is in here? This thing, I couldn't believe it when I saw this. I think this is another Harbor Freight special, but crow's foot wrench set, metric. Look at this. I mean, that makes my mouth water and my pants a little tight.